Right now, inside the world's most perfectly conical volcano, something unprecedented is happening. Mayon Volcano, a natural wonder, is experiencing a sudden, massive 300% surge in seismic activity. This spike has triggered alarms that geologists and volcanologists haven't seen in centuries, indicating a profound shift in its internal dynamics. A terrifying crimson glow is now bleeding from the crater, a visible warning sign from over 15 kilometers away. Scientists are urgently warning of a potential massive subsurface breakthrough that could permanently disfigure this iconic natural wonder. The countdown has officially begun for a catastrophic event. But is a full-scale eruption just hours away, or are we completely blind to the final, critical warning sign that precedes utter devastation? The sophisticated array of monitoring stations encircling Mayon Volcano are now lighting up with critical data, confirming an accelerating crisis. On January 6, geologists observed a violent and unexpected spike, 131 massive rockfall events recorded in a single 24-hour window. This isn't merely unusual, it's nearly triple the daily average typically observed for Mayon's baseline activity. This sudden acceleration in internal structural activity signals a rapid and unstable change within the volcano's interior. These aren't minor tremors, they are powerful enough to be detected across the entire seismic grid, each one a small internal collapse hinting at a much larger impending event below the surface, putting pressure on the outer cone. But the escalating situation at Mayon did not stabilize, it intensified dramatically. Within days of the initial spike, those rockfall numbers shattered all previous records, surging to an alarming 256 structural collapses every single day. This relentless, increasing frequency is not normal volcanic behavior. According to PHIVOLCS, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, this specific, volatile pattern only occurs when the lava dome inside the volcano is growing at an uncontrollable and exceptionally rapid rate, exerting immense pressure on the surrounding rock. Concurrently, deadly pyroclastic currents, superheated avalanches of ash and gas, skyrocketed from a mere 5 events to over 100 per day. The mountain is fracturing from the inside out, shedding its material with violent force. What's truly terrifying the scientific community isn't solely what's happening on Mayon's surface. It's what's happening 12 kilometers beneath it. Deep crust sensors, placed to detect the slightest shifts, have picked up a continuous, low-frequency tremor originating far below the volcano's shallow magma reservoir. This isn't typical activity, it indicates a far more dangerous phenomenon. Experts from the local Volcanology Institute state this specific tremor is a worst-case indicator. It signifies that immense forces are at play deep within the Earth's mantle, pushing fresh material upwards from profound depths, a clear sign of an imminent, large-scale event. This deep tremor indicates something even more critical, a massive, completely fresh batch of magma is forcing its way up directly from the Earth's lower crust. This isn't recycled magma, this is new, hot material carving brand new pathways through ancient, solid rock formations that have been stable for millennia. The friction and resistance from this process create immense, trapped pressure within the mountain's infrastructure. When magma moves from such extreme depths, it carries an extraordinary amount of kinetic energy. This energy, once unleashed, has the potential to trigger a sudden, explosive decompression at the summit, far more violent than surface-level activity. The forces at play are truly monumental. The continuous upward pressure from this new magma, rising from 12 kilometers deep, is not just fracturing the mountain, it's building towards a potentially catastrophic event. This immense, trapped pressure, accumulated over weeks, means the entire volcanic system is under extreme stress. Experts warn that the sheer kinetic energy carried by magma moving from such depths is staggering. It holds the power to trigger a sudden, explosive decompression at the summit without significant precursory signs. This would not be a gentle overflow but a violent expulsion of material, a rapid release of accumulated energy that could devastate the surrounding landscape instantly. The risk of a major explosive eruption is intensifying daily. When night falls over the Albi region, the true danger lurking within Mayon Volcano becomes unmistakably visible. The apex of the mountain ignites with a haunting, steady glow, painting the night sky with an ominous crimson. Locals have a name for this phenomenon. They call it bannog, a silent, yet profoundly alarming indicator. This glow means that the molten core of the volcano is sitting just inches, perhaps mere feet, beneath the summit's brittle crust. The intense heat is radiating outwards, heating the stone walls until they literally glow like a beacon, a chilling reminder of the destructive power barely contained within man's iconic structure, warning all who see it of the volcano's unstable state. Mayon Volcano is globally famous for its flawless, symmetrical shape. It's a textbook example of volcanic perfection, drawing tourists and geologists alike. But that iconic symmetry is now actively under attack. Satellite thermal imaging reveals a disturbing trend. The upper slopes are beginning to swell and bulge, distorting its once perfect lines. This deformation is a direct consequence of the intense internal pressure exerted by the rapidly rising magma and expanding gases within the cone. This warping threatens to shatter the mountain's iconic outline forever, fundamentally altering one of the world's most recognizable natural landmarks. It's a visible sign of the profound stress the volcano is enduring. And now, the surface has broken. Rivers of incandescent, superheated lava are actively pouring from Mayon's crater, carving glowing, destructive paths down the southeastern ravines. This is no longer merely an internal threat, it is an active, visible eruption. Every time a significant piece of the newly formed lava dome collapses, it unleashes a terrifying pyroclastic surge. These are blinding clouds of toxic gas and ash, superheated to thousands of degrees, traveling at highway speeds, over 80 kilometers per hour, incinerating everything in their path. The dome collapses are becoming more frequent and larger, increasing the risk to communities downslope as the volcano sheds its unstable skin. Above Mayon's peak, massive ash columns are punching vigorously over 3 kilometers into the atmosphere, towering over the landscape. This widespread ash fallout has immediate and far-reaching consequences. The Tokyo Volcanic Ash Advisory Center has issued an emergency redirect for all aviation in the region, grounding flights and disrupting international travel. A massive ash plume is now drifting towards major cities, threatening civilian populations. On the ground, the air in surrounding towns already tastes heavily of sulfur, a noxious and choking sensation. This falling grit is not just a nuisance, it's an existential threat, choking livestock, ruining vital crops, and contaminating clean water supplies, compounding the disaster for residents. As the situation destabilizes with alarming speed, the urgent wail of evacuation sirens is cutting through the air across the region. A strict 6-kilometer permanent danger zone has been established around Mayon, encompassing numerous towns and communities. The message is clear and absolute: no one goes in, everyone must get out. Soldiers and emergency personnel are moving systematically, door to door, enforcing immediate evacuations to ensure public safety. This mandatory displacement underscores the severity of the threat, as authorities prioritize human life above all else, forcing thousands to leave behind their homes and livelihoods with only moments to prepare. The mountain demands respect, and the people are complying. Thousands of families are abandoning their entire lives, packing what little they can carry into the backs of military transports, a stark symbol of their desperate exodus. Local schools, once centers of education, have been hastily converted into crowded refugee camps, struggling to cope with the influx of displaced citizens. These shelters are now temporary homes for communities uprooted by Mayon's unpredictable fury. The region is currently locked down under Alert Level 3, a critical stage that indicates a hazardous eruption is not just possible, but highly probable within days, if not hours. The human cost of this displacement is already immense, with uncertainty looming over every family. Even with the world's most advanced seismic networks, state-of-the-art thermal imaging, and dedicated volcanologists working around the clock, predicting the exact microsecond of a total collapse or a full-scale catastrophic eruption is a scientific impossibility. The volcano operates on its own, inscrutable timeline. This inherent unpredictability adds another layer of terror for the communities living in the shadow of Mayon. Scientists can track escalating signs, issue warnings, and implement evacuation protocols, but the precise moment of nature's most violent act remains unknown. This dilemma forces a constant state of high alert, balancing preparedness with the chilling reality of scientific limitations against the immense power of the Earth. For the people living here today, this unfolding crisis is not just a present danger, it's a nightmare rewritten, echoing a dark chapter from history. In 1814, Mayon unleashed an apocalyptic explosion, its most catastrophic eruption on record, that completely buried the historic town of Kagsawa, claiming over 1,200 lives in minutes. Today, the exact same, chilling warning signs are aligning: rapid lava dome growth, deep crustal tremors, and collapsing flanks are mirroring the events that preceded that devastating cataclysm. The iconic stone ruins of the Kagsawa church, standing alone with Mayon in the background, serve as a silent, powerful monument to man's destructive potential, a grim reminder of history's brutal lessons. But beyond the immediate threats of lava and ash, there is a secondary, hidden danger lurking, particularly as the region enters its rainy season. If heavy tropical rains hit these fresh, unstable ash deposits now blanketing Mayon's slopes, it will trigger lahars, violent, fast-moving rivers of volcanic mud and concrete-like debris. These devastating flows can gain incredible speed and destructive power, capable of swallowing entire farming communities downriver before anyone has a chance to run or even react. The danger isn't just coming from the sky in the form of ash plumes, or from the crater as lava, it's also coming from the ground itself, as a slurry of volcanic material that can bury everything in its path. Today, over 200,000 people live directly in the shadow of Mayon, their lives intertwined with the unpredictable mountain. What were once lush green fields of rice, the lifeline of this agricultural region, have now turned into ghost towns, covered in a shroud of grey volcanic dust and debris. For thousands of displaced farmers and their families, the immediate economic toll is devastating, as their livelihoods are stripped away, likely for months or even years. This isn't just a natural event, it's a profound humanitarian crisis unfolding in real time. The very ground they rely on for survival has become a source of immense danger, leaving them with an uncertain future. But beyond the financial and agricultural losses, the human toll of waiting in agonizing uncertainty is even worse. Communities are living in a constant state of fear, psychological stress, and disruption. Families wonder if they will ever return home, if their lives can ever be rebuilt. This impending crisis is a stark, brutal reminder that the Earth operates on its own timeline, completely indifferent to human plans, human infrastructure, or human aspirations. Mayon's next move won't just be a geological event, it will be a brutal test of human survival, resilience, and our collective respect for the unpredictable, immense forces of nature. The psychological impact alone will scar generations. The unfolding situation at Mayon Volcano serves as a visceral illustration of nature's ultimate, unyielding power. It challenges our advanced technologies, our scientific predictions, and our very way of life. This is not merely a regional crisis, it's a global lesson in humility and preparedness. The world watches as the Philippine government and local communities respond with incredible courage and coordination, facing down one of the planet's most active and dangerous volcanoes. Their actions, their resilience, and their sacrifice underscore the constant struggle against forces far greater than ourselves. Mayon stands as a formidable teacher, reminding humanity of its place in the grand, dynamic theater of Earth's geology. The situation at Mayon Volcano remains highly volatile, with conditions changing rapidly. Continuous monitoring and swift responses are paramount to protecting lives and mitigating further devastation. This unfolding crisis demands our attention and understanding, reminding us of the planet's dynamic and powerful geology. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and stay informed on these critical global events. Subscribe to Earthline for ongoing, critical updates and in-depth analysis of natural phenomena impacting our world. We are committed to bringing you the facts as they emerge, directly from the front lines of Earth's most dramatic events. Your awareness is your greatest asset in facing such formidable forces.